Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here with a very dark gentleman. He's moody, he's dark. He's very purple today. He is John Fitch, MMA legend, all-around great guy, and the guy behind John Fitch knows nothing. I've noticed you've been posting over there. What have we been missing over there, John?
I've been covering fights a little bit more the last couple times, but there was nothing to cover last night. So we just talked about the year and moving forward and what we can do to start planning for the next year.
Yeah.
Let people know that I am available for consultations, help you un-F your life and get working towards the things you want.
And, those things may be harder and harder to achieve as time progresses. I know so many people, we were here last year, John, and we were kind of
harder and harder to achieve, but not at the same time, because with all the BS going on, there is a subculture that's being formed, and there's people who are subverting all the crap that's going on. There's underground things going on, and we kind of called this a long time ago, and we're gonna see two societies. You're gonna see the rich and jabbed, and you're gonna see the rest of us.
Well, we'll get into all the rest of us and those things. But guys, the irony of today, as we look to the future, is that we're talking about 2021 in censorship mode, right? There was a lot of hope that 2021 was going to be some kind of great year and everything was on the right track and it couldn't be as bad as 2020. We had that Match.com commercial we watched where, there's just no way. But then they had, of course, the comets come down. And that's what the big buzz is, by the way. With that movie that came on Netflix, because everybody loves Leo DiCaprio. I won't watch it, and maybe I will later, but I know what it is. It's a propaganda piece to get you ready to fear everything on the outside. It's not enough to be aliens. It's asteroids. It's climate change. It's viruses. It's all the things that predator...
They're losing control. They're losing control.
Well,
this is a desperate attempt to rein in what's going on, control the people, maintain the power structures. But the cat's out of the bag, man. Like, we have the new money, we got the Bitcoin, we got communications. We're going to subvert it. Like, there's nothing they can do. They are losing.
I wish I could agree with you, John.
They're going to try to do some crazy, nasty stuff, but I don't think it's going to work.
You are much more optimistic than old Jason Burmis for the new year. I think that, unfortunately, this is exactly what they want. Dude, I've seen so many idiotic posts about this movie already. I really have. The Don't Look Up, the Comet movie. Well, so I haven't
even heard of it.
Dude, it's everywhere on social media. And, my relatives, including my aunt and my mom, are posting about it. And it's all predictive programming to get you to accept Space Force. And they're going to save us from comets. And comets are a real threat. It's not just aliens and climate change. And we better do something about that now. That's the big allegory. It's all about regulating your life. And unfortunately, getting you...
But that's the thing, is it's a shift. Like, it's they are defeated. They're losing. The jab crap isn't working. It's not going to take. People are waking up. Like, people are getting sick, even though they've had all this stuff.
Whoa, John, we're on goddamn YouTube, bro. No one's getting sick. Stop. Jesus. I don't know how we're here, but listen. None of that was said. We're not even talking about viruses right now or anything of the sort. I just want to make that extremely clear. The only virus we're talking about is the virus of globalism and this future that we have planned, and or they have planned.
Virus of wokeism too, because I watched Neo and the purple pill Matrix.
You want to talk about that? Because I did a little review.
It was terrible. Like, I don't even remember 2 and 3 because I wasn't really into them. I didn't think I liked the first one. It was great, but then the second two, 2 and 3 weren't quite there for me. I didn't really quite get it. And then I thought Neo won at the end of the third one or whatever.
Well, they did kind of explain that.
I didn't even know what the point of this movie was, other than to like take it away from Neo and be like, no, it's about sheep power.
Well,
and girl
all right.
power, and it was about love, and he couldn't have done it without love, and that's the real one. Was there were two, and it's just garbage. It was such garbage, like fempowerment jizz fest. Just get out of here. It was
Well, you
awful.
do again. We've had this
And then
discussion.
you got Jada Pinkett is an old person makeup, and the old person makeup makes her look younger than she does in real life.
That's a bad joke, John. You are on fire today. All right,
Yes.
so let me give you my take
Dude,
on.
I was like, yeah, her skin was way smoother and less full of blemishes and stuff with the old person makeup on.
I'll say this: I thought the old person makeup was terrible because they had to flash back to even let you know it was Jada Pinkett in the first place. I mean, those were small gripes for me. I thought the beginning was somewhat clever in the fact that they tried to take the entire trilogy and make it into a video game and then do a very meta self-reflection of how, it took hold of society. Not the opening scene, which was just kind of a throwback to being in the Matrix, and you get introduced to the new Morpheus character, which is no longer Morpheus. It's the transhumanist AI that helps the humans. You get that, John? We didn't, you see that developed, and even later on,
The sentient organisms that are machines helping people.
well, not only machines. Remember, they were programs that were written, and then when they get later into the story, Jada Pinkett's character shows you the strawberry, and she says that the strawberry wouldn't have been possible without these programs being able to become sentient and come to life. What essentially Morpheus / Smith, the program, is, right? But you actually are correct. So I actually didn't hate the trilogy. They're not as good as the first, but I actually like the ergo and the the kind of paradoxes they put in there, and kind of
I have to go back and watch it again because I don't know. It seemed a little.
Well, you were right.
confusing.
Like at the very end, they are killed. Right? That's the whole thing. They give themselves up and they take out the machines. And the way they spin it, which again I didn't like later on, is that that's not even Neo and Trinity. Okay?
They're replicas.
Exactly. So once again, the AI needs some kind of symbiosis with human beings, right? Because they talk about how they couldn't have them apart, but if they got them too close together, it was devastation for the machines, right? They even had in there to bring in more transhumanism. Remember, the machines go to war against each other because of scarcity, and that's the first time that happens too. So somehow the machines also recreate the sentient life of Neo and Trinity. So once again, the machines are the real gods. They recreate them like in that image. So there's a lot of transhumanism message in there.
Neil Patrick Harris was great though.
What? Who was great?
Neil Patrick Harris.
He was the best part.
Dude, he just nails it. He's good, man. He is. He's good.
I'll totally agree. That's
Harold and Kumar. That was great.
Everything that listen.
8-bit. Have you seen the 8-bit Christmas? On a happier note, it's a good movie.
No. Is that a good one?
He's in that. It's great. It's a good one.
Okay, maybe I need to do the 8-bit
watch it
Christmas with the kids if they haven't
It's
watched
a fun
that yet.
one. He's like he's a father with a daughter, and he's telling her the story. She wants a cell phone, and he tells a story of how he attained or attempted to attain his first Nintendo.
I remember my first Nintendo. It was a shocker. I wasn't ready for it. I didn't even really want it. I didn't think it was happening. But once you had one, you definitely wanted it because it was that good. It was.
It reminded me of back in the day because, you always had the one kid, the one rich kid who got it first, and that's kind of one of the storylines in the show. It's like, and then everybody's got to be friends with the one rich kid to try to get invited over to play.
So, guys, we are a little censored right now, but we can talk about some of these stories, and these are the stories that I do want to hit on with John. By the way, you can find everything John over at johnfitch.net, everything coming up for 2022 over there. But right now, China has developed an AI prosecutor. While we're talking about AI and we're talking about the Matrix and all these other things, okay? They're getting ready to charge dissidents with common crimes with AI. And this is not a China plan. I want to make this extremely clear. This is the fucking plan. All right? That's what this is. They don't want, this is what defund the police is. They want AI judges that, by the way, with deep fake technology in real time, you'll probably think are human. They want virtual court and they want social credit score punishments. And that's kind of why I opened with this movie a little bit, because so many people are now talking about that, how they're not addressing the problem of climate change and the quote unquote elites don't care. You're right, they don't fucking care. But it's not that they're ignoring it to their own peril. They're ignoring it because they're currently enslaving us, you fucking assholes.
I saw somebody posted this the other day, yesterday. It was Delta, or somebody was talking about how they're changing or scaling their aircraft moving forward. They're going to be bigger seats, less seating. They're making a move to eliminate poor people from traveling. That's what the elites are doing towards global warming. Is they're going to make sure your poor ass isn't going to fly on the plane with them anymore.
Well, it's not only the plane, you're not going to be able to drive. Why do you think they're telling you they want a breathalyzer in all the cars? Why is everything 2030? Why am I reading articles, John, about 3D printed food? Okay, oh, it looks delicious. This is the bullshit that Leo DiCaprio is actually invested in. Let me type that in. We'll do it live.
Chickens, people.
DiCaprio.
3D printed food? Chickens. Get chickens, and they will 3D print you an egg. The most delicious, perfect food you could have.
So he invested in Mosa Meat, Mr. Climate Change, Mr. Ooh, we're all going to die. And I want to remind people of something that I know a lot of you probably forgot. And maybe you're not even aware.
Kids. Like, what stake does he have in the future? What does he care?
They want to live forever.
He's going to bathe 25-year-olds for another 15 years.
Bro.
And then he's going to die, and he's got no legacy. Period.
So,
I don't care what organization he put together or what crap he made. He didn't do shit. He has no legacy.
He doesn't believe he's going to die, John. He believes he's literally rich enough, and the technology is there where that motherfucker believes he's going to live forever. That's the gag, man. I'm not even kidding you. I wish I was. So, okay. Peter Nygard, we talk about him with Epstein, and I also wanted to talk about the Epstein case today. By the way, guys, when we do get about half an hour deep, that's when we're going to get into the real nitty-gritty and, talk about things that maybe we can't talk about on censored YouTube. I'm sorry I went a little wild there, but they've pulled my channel now 4 times. I currently have not 2 strikes, but really 3 strikes, but they're not acknowledging that for some reason because I called them out on it. So they could take me off at any time. Let's talk about it. Peter Nygard. He is currently awaiting trial along with Jean-Luc Brunel in separate cases. They are both related to Epstein. If you haven't noticed, John, the Ghislaine Maxwell trial has now gone under what? 4 days. 4 separate days of deliberations. And they're asking the judge what enticement means. We told you this was a throne trial. It was way too short. They showed literally less than 40 photographs, and we went over them. Remember we showed them here? They had over 40,000, bro. They had over 40,000. 39,000 photographs, videos you never even got to see. That's what they acknowledged. So Nygard, Jones was playing it today. We've talked about the baby ranch, haven't we? Remember the old baby ranch? You remember Epstein's baby ranch. Remember the old, let's just type it in for people. Epstein's baby ranch. All right. So this was the story. He hoped to seed the human race with his DNA on his baby ranch. All right. Inside the notorious baby making ranch in the desert. To Alex Jones's credit today, he hit me with 2 things that I was not aware of with Peter Nygard. Number 1, that Nygard's own son came out and said basically his girlfriends, Nygard's girlfriends, were told to abuse him as a child. That's 1. 2, he played a video of Nygard bragging about technology, including stem cell technology that would essentially allow him to live forever. You can't make this shit up. He's sitting there talking about it, how that's what he plans to do. He literally says, John, the quote is this: I'm going to try and live forever or die trying. So they don't have a legacy other than they think they are the generation that transcends mortality, bro. And they believe that the robots are there to take care of them and get rid of us and regulate what's left of us. And we will accept it all. And I know that sounds scary, guys, but if you think 2021 was something with censorship, you ain't seen nothing yet at all. And I'll tell you what, why don't we bring up this clip here? We love clips on this show. This is our good buddy Klaus. You know Mr. Schwab, right? This is the big Great Reset guy. So for the audience that may not know, in July of 2020, we got fact checks on the Great Reset, by the way. He wrote COVID-19, the Great Reset. Okay? That was the cover of his book. This is the man that told you that there would be no normal after this and that they would use this to accelerate everything that they wanted to do. So here he is, and I don't know when this video was taken, but him essentially bragging that they basically own everybody of significance and they're going to do whatever the fuck they want.
We have, if I look at our stakeholders, we have business, of course, as a very important audience, and we have politics, we have continuous partnerships with many governments around the world. And of course, we have NGOs, we have trade unions, we have all those different parts.
Media, of course.
Media, of course, and very important experts and scientists and academia. Because if we are looking at the future, I think we should look at new solutions, and the new solutions will be very much driven by technological developments.
And you even have religious leaders, right?
We have religious leaders, we have social entrepreneurs, very important social entrepreneurs.
Social entrepreneurs, religious leaders, the media, NGO. He listed just about every single thing you could possibly list that is under their thumb. And this was the fact check for the Great Reset over at Twitter last week. The Great Reset is the World Economic Forum's proposal for post-COVID economic recovery, Reuters and the BBC report. This is a book that was out in July of 2020. Like this, they had forums about this. They've talked about the Great Reset. They had Davos specials with influencers, social influencers that have like millions of YouTube followers promoting this thing. And they're acting like it's the post-recovery. No, this is the takeover. This is you're eating bugs, man. This is it. Like when 2030 is not that far away, John. It's really not that far away. I blinked and it was 2020 from 2010, right? I'm sure it went by quick for you. We're about that same age range. And as you get older, these things accelerate on a level that you can't imagine. So, man, I wish, if you look at this, for instance, did you see the Kamala Harris Build Back Better thing?
I did not.
So you did see her.
I did see Lightfoot's little Kwanzaa video. They're the elites are just trolling us. They put people like that up.
But that's not even elitist. You know what I mean? That's like somebody. That's like
I know
puppet.
it's a pawn of the elitist.
Yeah.
Like I feel like they got to put these people. It's a joke. Like who takes that person seriously?
I don't know, man.
Like it's just the silliest. It's a little Beetlejuice looking person.
Listen, I hate to even go after people's physical appearance. Know them by their
physiognomy is real. Physiognomy is real. Like beauty's only skin deep, but ugly is to the bone.
I'll say this, man. There are certain people you do essentially become. Everybody takes on a look. You know what I mean? Well, you
remember that? I don't know if you play this video game. There's an old video game where like you could make choices, good or bad choices.
Fable, those kind of ones.
Fable, yes. And like your physical, look kind of went along with like your choices. Mm-hmm. I 100% believe that is a real thing.
I think it is too. Well, I think it also has something to do with what we manifest in our mind and our thoughts become our actions, and all of that. That's the thing that these people know and they want to suppress. It's our human consciousness, man. It's our ability to be great. It's our ability to be special. It's our ability to have the will to create new things and really challenge the power structure, right? So getting back to Harris had that freak out moment where she said, I'm the vice president and Joe Biden's the president. And she freaked out because, Charlemagne the God wanted to know why they couldn't get Build Back Better done, right? She had that little spat. But she said that Build Back Better was hers when, the UN in April of 2020, that's her plan.
Yeah, and Schwab had put it out there a while ago.
Well, this is April of 2020. And then we actually played video of Cuomo from April of 2019, April 17th it was, literally putting up a graph of the Better Tomorrow and the Build Back Better plan and reimagining everything. And not only wasn't it his plan, he was just the front man, the mouthpiece at the time to put it out there. And what's really alarming is that these people are extremely interchangeable, John. Nobody remembers that Andrew Cuomo was the Build Back Better guy, right? Nobody, right? And now he was a sex pest. He might have done some bad things. It's not his policies that kill people, okay? It's not the authoritarianism. It's not the fact that he's promoting a globalist ideal that is techno-fascism for those of us who survive, all right? And 2021, the reason, again, we can't say certain words is because we're on a platform that is not just big tech, but is in bed with the military-industrial complex. I want to point out here, before we do leave YouTube, and we're going to do that soon, John, so we can start really talking. This is NASA shaking hands with Eric Schmidt, the head of Google at the time, all the way back in 2005. All right, all the way back in 2005. And then, you buck up and you get to 2019, and together they've achieved quantum supremacy. And remember, space travel is only 20% of what NASA does. They're part of the military-industrial complex. They deliver weapons via SpaceX. They actually, whether you like it or not, militarized space long ago with Reagan and others through the Star Wars program. Okay, so everybody who's so scared of meteors and comets and Leo DiCaprio's, guys, if we were worth our salt, and I believe our military-industrial complex globally is, we could shoot any motherfucking comet out of the fucking sky with our fucking weapons in space. Period. Today. It's not Bruce Willis has to get on an asteroid with Ben Affleck and you hear an Aerosmith song, assholes. Okay? It's literally the directed energy weapons that you're not supposed to discuss that actually exist, that existed decades upon decades ago. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this off of YouTube. Even though on the way out, guys, I need you to thumbs it up, okay? Subscribe and share. Almost 65,000 strong, despite all the censorship. We're only like, what are we, like, 400. We're 400 people away from 65,000. Can we make it happen, new listeners? If you want to support me, the GoFundMe's down there. This is where we're going. Rockfin, ROKFIN.com. This is where it's going to be uncensored. This is when we can start talking about this story that I don't even know if I want to put it up here. But it's so damn important. I mean, again, all of a sudden you can't get Regeneron in this country. They've taken it away. We're going to talk about that first thing on the way back. So once again, come over to rockfin.com/Jason.
Vitamin C and vitamin D also soon.
That's only because they don't taste good, John, and they're not good for you. Apparently, we're not off of YouTube yet, John. Jesus, you're really poking the bear. He's poking that YouTube bear. Odyssey is where we're backed up. All the documentary films, they are free of charge. We don't believe about left or right, all that Johnny nonsense over here. It's always about right and wrong. John's a lot more optimistic about the future of the world and these other societies.
I just think that these people are incompetent. I think they have plans. I think they want to do stuff, but I think ultimately they will fail because people aren't going to put up with it. At a certain point, it's just not going to work. People are going to stop working. They're going to stop, they're going to unplug. And I think they're just grasping right now, trying to stay in a position of power. and I don't think it's going to be possible for them to stay in the power. You know, they may give the illusion of power off, but man, they already have a problem with execution as far as like, you know, they collect all this information and there's so many crimes out there all over the place nonstop, and they still are incapable of like prosecuting. Like they
it's on
still
purpose.
struggle.
It's by design, man.
You know?
It's to destroy. Listen, there's a reason that when COVID-19
I talk with people who work in the government, people who are in the military, and they're like, man, these guys can't do shit. They can't get their head out of their ass.
All right, well,
they can't
listen.
organize enough people together to get things done. And I just think they have a bunch of wishful thinking. They're going to keep trying to push things through, but it's just going to keep failing. I don't think they have the ability to do it.
Well, we're going to try to explain to John why they do have the ability to do it on the flip side, but we can't do it here. So YouTube, I put the link in the live chat. We're going to end the video. I want to thank you for joining us here. And remember, free speech lives over at Rockfin. And unfortunately, we are censored here on the Leviathan known as Google, YouTube, Alphabet, NASA.